Welcome back to the Play It Down Sports Podcast, episode 24. We're mixing things up this week. We're giving Boneheads a little bit of a break. We're going to mix some things up, but remember to always bet responsibly. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the socials at Play It Down Golf. You can also catch us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure you hit that follow and that like button. So grab your beverage of choice. Let's play it down. All right, Jonesy. Episode 24. Do you think we'd ever get here?
No, it was, I can't believe we've been doing this for almost half a year. That's crazy,
I know.
right?
It's wild.
2 more episodes and we'll be at the 6-month point, basically.
Yes.
So,
what are you drinking? What you got tonight?
I got, you know what? I know last week we introduced ourselves through my brother to that Dart beer. I see you got the can back there.
Got the can back there?
Yeah. Tonight I'm back on the Merlot, Cameron Hughes Merlot, my favorite lot. Back to the old reliable. And we'll probably do something like we did with the Dart beer, though, going forward. I like that mixing it up a little bit. I see you're back to your normal, too, there.
Yep, I got the John LaBianca Chalice back in action with my Stella.
Yep, that's appropriate.
Still liking it.
Yeah,
still liking it. Yeah.
And how about the hat tonight? What about the hat?
I bought this hat. We were down in Myrtle playing a course called the Grand Dunes. And I saw this in the pro shop, and I had to pick it up. It actually says, I'll read it, no bad days on the course. I mean, I guess hypothetically that could be true. I've had a bad day on the course.
It's not true for you. That's definitely not true.
I love the saying. I love the hat. I saw it. I was like, you know what? That's a quality hat there, and I can't lie. It fits perfect. And I see you're sporting the old.
Mr. Mount Tabor member guest hat. Yeah, I was just going to say maybe that hat will be through osmosis. Will get into your brain, and you'll actually start believing that you have no bad days on the course, even when you do.
You know me, right? You know me. I'm a fountain of positivity.
Yeah, right. So this is back to Mount Tabor. We're away now. We've done what we need to do with the Westgate contest, and we're moving forward.
Moving forward.
So,
all right, let's, so big weekend, obviously, this weekend, speaking of Westgate and college and all that, it is the 126th game of Army versus Navy. Some quick, interesting facts about the game. It was first played in 1890. It was also played at Soldier Field for the national dedication of Soldier Field in 1926. And I didn't even realize Soldier Field was that old, to be honest with you. But it was to honor World War I soldiers. So that was the national dedication for that. Then 1963, there was a couple of cool things one cool thing, one very not cool thing. 8 days after the assassination of JFK, they played the game because Jackie Kennedy spoke to both the generals at the Army and Navy and informed them that John would want the game to go on.
Yeah.
And gave them her blessing to play the game. And also in 1963, it was the first time instant replay was ever used during a football game. And in that game, Roger Staubach for Navy won the game, and he actually won the Heisman Trophy in 1963.
Boy, that is a throwback name, Roger Staubach, Dallas Cowboys.
Staubach.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
My favorite quarterback growing up.
Yeah.
1983, they was hosted at the Rose Bowl, and it's also the last time the Army-Navy game has been played west of the Mississippi River. It's
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting fact I didn't realize.
Well, it makes sense. Both of them are located on the east, right? Yeah, I mean, why not play the game there?
Obviously, right? West Point and Annapolis. Then 2016, Army snapped a 14-game losing streak, winning the game 21-17. And kind of since that streak has been snapped, they've kind of gone back and forth, where Army's, they kind of split a lot of these games. Last year, though, Navy dominated and won 31-17.
31-13, I think you said.
31-13. 17 is on the screen. That's so that's the Army-Navy facts. We will now kind of pivot a little bit because we have some holiday awards that we're giving out over the last past couple weeks, or I guess past week. I think they've
last week.
Yeah, both parties were in the past week for the two clubs that we belong and are members of. So I'll let Tom kind of explain who won what, some of the highlights and lowlights.
Right. So first of all, this was a combination of an awards dinner and a Christmas party, and very well attended. I think maybe the most attended event that I can remember since I've joined the course 22 years ago. 110 people were at this dinner. It was an outstanding buffet put on by the catering and Rob Cantrell and Sean O'Leary, who sort of lead that group now as far as putting these dinners on. Was an outstanding, performance, really. And in fact, they had to have the buffet off in the governor's room. It was just that crowded in the actual room. And in conjunction with the dinner and the Christmas party, they had the award ceremony. And Casey O'Reilly did an outstanding job, assisted by Sean O'Leary and you could see some of these trophies that were handed out. The picture that you see is all some of the champions of some of the prestigious tournaments at Tabor, and this is a group of young guys, all I think under 30 years old, maybe or at 30, who believe they're taking the course over. They've said that multiple times. The person that said it the most, Ryan Trisler, though, did not win an award. He's not in the picture.
I was going to say I don't see his picture there.
No, he's not. He's a big. He says a lot, but I don't see him in the awards for this evening. So I'm just going to quickly read down some of the key awards, and then we can move forward here. So Children's Day tournament, and that's the premier singles tournament that is at the course. That is not really the club championship. So it's run all season. There's 16. You have to qualify. 16 players get in. And this year's winner was Bill Maroney, who is pictured second there from the left. And then there's also the women's golf this year at Mount Tabor has really taken off as well. And Deb Tossenfriend won the Ladies' Children's Day. And Casey did a great job adding more and more tournaments. And there was a lot of women who were really into the golf this year at Tabor. Probably the biggest turnout for these tournaments that I've ever seen in the 22 years I've been there on the women's side. And then the Wilson Cantrell champions, Tyler Ferris and Alex Aved, they're both in the picture. We've got the cranberry. Yep. Tyler's in the cranberry. Make sure Alex is next to him. They won the Wilson Cantrell tournament. And then now this is fairly new for the women. They've had Wilson Cantrell, I think, for a couple of years, but they hadn't run way back. And they had a tournament this year. Jackie Corcoran and Eileen Luby won the women's Wilson Cantrell. And then I'm going to just lead off on the men's side, there was the President's Club champion. There was 5 flights, so it's flighted. And the winners of the various flights were Steve LeBold, Richard Travis, John LaBianca, who you're drinking the out of the chalice.
Go John, go John.
John beat me on the 20th hole in the head-to-head in that flight and went on to win it. Tim Gordon, and then the overall winner, the championship flight winner, was Steve Halsh. Did an outstanding job. It came down against Lou Harry to the 36th hole, and really, I think it might have gone then to extra holes, if I'm recalling. Casey had told this story. It went to like 38 holes or something like that. And there was some great putting that went on and great playing and a back and forth match all the way through. On the women's side, we had Megan Carter won the 18-hole gross flight. The net flight champion was Jill Champy. And her husband, Sam, he didn't win an award this year. I don't know how many times he even broke 90, but his wife came through and won the 18-hole net flight. And then Loretta Coletti won the 9-hole net flight. And then finally, we get to the Golfer of the Year. And this is an accumulated award. You've won that before at Mount Tabor a couple of years back. And this year it was Kyle Johnson, who is pictured in the front of that picture.
As he should be in the front.
Right. He's in the front. He's not the tallest guy in the picture, but he is the best golfer at Mount Tabor this year. Yeah. And then on the women's side, the Golfer of the Year was Loretta Coletti. And she kept going up. There was other tournaments that she won. We're not listing them all, but she won the Golfer of the Year at Mount Tabor as well. So well done by all of the awards recipients.
And I noticed there's another trophy. It looks like it's behind your right shoulder. Is that from this year?
Yeah, it is from this year. I won the senior net flight, senior club championship net flight about 3 days before I had the mishap with my knee. It was on a Saturday, and on Tuesday I wasn't able to walk.
When you ripped it.
Right.
And Steve, I think the lower right is where we have your actual trophy.
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad you were able to put that up. And the senior club champion on a gross flight winner was Steve Hulsh, which, net obviously is with a handicap, gross is without. So congratulations to Steve on that. He won, not only the regular club championship, but the senior club championship.
Right. And I know the Picatinny boys had their holiday party, or Picatinny Club had their holiday party, and we were chatting and texting with the boys over there, and they wanted us to do a live stream from the Picatinny holiday party, but we couldn't pull that one together. But I know a couple of guys won over there. You got any updates from Picatinny?
Yeah, I do actually. The from the group that we have about 16 to 20 guys that we've played and on the weekends with, or during the week. We're in leagues together up there, and on Saturday and Sunday oftentimes there's 2 or 3 foursomes within that group that go out. And within our group there, Danny Pollack was the A flight winner in the championship at a club championship at Picatinny. And Martin Rushmore, who's been a previous member at Mount Tabor, won the gold flight. He was a gold flight winner, which is the upper tees. Obviously, it's for the seniors, and he won that flight. Oh, and it was a 2-day tournament, so it wasn't just going out there one day. You got to do it over 36 holes. And the overall winner was Michael Shunk. I've played him head to head in before in this, and he in a President's Cup. And he's an outstanding golfer. And he won. It was a blue tee championship, and without strokes, and he won the first place in his flight there. And then Kathy Fino won the women, and she wins it over and over again. She's an outstanding golfer.
Outstanding.
Really good. Yeah.
All right. So those are our holiday parties at the clubs we belong to. Congratulations to everyone that won this year. Whatever you won, first, second, third, any trophy you won is a huge accomplishment with the golfers that belong to these two clubs. Is just the competition is phenomenal. So congrats to everyone there. We are going to move on, say goodbye to our golf year at our clubs, and go back to what we know and enjoy probably more than we should, and that is sports.
So we've got a special segment here, Scooter.
Well, new one here.
Yeah. So again, let me just kind of set this up a little bit, right? I was thinking maybe, how many times do you watch a game, you get annoyed with the announcers, right? I mean, it happens all the time, right? So what we have in here is
they're rooting for the wrong team. They're rooting for the wrong team. Joe Buck hates the Cowboys.
I mean, there's a million reasons why you get annoyed with announcers, and we're going to be sort of discussing that as we go through some of the list here and some of the characteristics of these announcers. Obviously, the pictures that you put up here are awesome throwbacks, right? I mean,
OGs.
Yes. I mean, I got to tell you, Pat Summerall used to be had the best play-by-play voice of anyone I can ever remember. And I think he did this for years and years. He played, I think, for the Giants back in his day.
Yep.
And then he was an outstanding announcer. I think he then came out of retirement to continue to announce. And when he worked with John Madden, there was no better team, in my mind, announcing these games. And Madden he would actually draw these diagrams and have this unbelievable explanation that maybe you didn't even understand what he was saying, but it was just awesome. Just the way that
Yes, he just drew you in.
And Summerall and him were just a great team. And then, of course, obviously you go back to that the Frank Gifford play-by-play, Dandy Don and Howard Cosell. And those guys in the 70s were a classic Monday night group. And look at the way they're dressed. It's just awesome. All right. But now
we obviously got to talking about other things, and Tom came up with this little list and said, why don't we come up with a list of what we think, and then we came up with some pairings and people. So I'll let you kind of start off with the most versatile announcer, which obviously is an announcer that pretty much can do any sport.
Right. And I got Sean McDonough as my vote for that one. Now, Sean is more recently become a hockey announcer, and I think is just viewed as, I mean, that is a hard sport to announce. And he is really, really just, worked very hard at it. And I've listened to him when he does like the finals of the Stanley Cup or semifinals of the Stanley Cup. Unbelievable. The way that he can keep a hockey game going. If you had to listen on the radio, you could picture what was happening. Just very smooth. And you have to be very fast and quick with that too. Like you've got to, I just don't know how guys, there's only a few I think that can really do that well. And not only does he do hockey, but he is an unbelievable announcer for college football, college basketball. He's done baseball in the past. And so he can flip from one sport to the other, and even within college and pro. I think he may have been involved in the NFL at one point, but he really, really is an outstanding announcer. And I think he's one of the ones that Syracuse is one of the schools where some of these great announcers come out of. Yeah. And I think McDonough might be one of them that was a graduate from there. So I think that's just impressive what he can do. Do you want me to keep going, or do you have some things you'd like to add in along the way here?
So I don't have someone for every category. And from versatile, I mean, I like Kenny Albert, but
yeah,
I think he's pretty versatile. But we can move on.
Yeah, well, I think just do color commentary along the way about what you think, because Kenny Albert's on my list too, and I tend to agree with you that he's not only versatile, but Marv Alberts used to be one of the best too. I mean, the Alberts are just really good at announcing. Right. I mean, now these are current. These guys are more current. We're not necessarily going right. So
which is why, because I would probably put Marv in the versatile category, but he doesn't do it. He's not current. Yeah. So we kind of we did stay current for the most.
As long as he can stay away from the women's underwear, he was fine.
He doesn't want. We don't want no biting. Come on.
So the best college football announcing pair I have are Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson. And these guys, Nessler is just very smooth. I love it when he comes on to do a game, and he's got the right voice for play-by-play. He's not somebody he doesn't irritate you the way he announces. He makes very few mistakes, and that team of him and Danielson in my mind, are outstanding.
Yeah, and it was funny because we were talking about this beforehand, and I'm like, Tom, I couldn't. You could put him in a room. I couldn't pick one out of a lineup. He goes, why? I said, every time I watch college football, I use the multi-view, and all I'm watching, I'm not listening to anything. I'm just watching the 4 games I have going on that I have bets on. I couldn't tell you anything about a single college announcer.
Well, I think the next one people are going to know a lot better. Dan Shulman and Jay Billis. Jay Billis on the basketball, right?
Yeah.
Really, really knows his stuff. He can be a little dry. He can be a little caustic, but he never really gets under your skin too much because he's just so good at what he does. And Shulman is another one of those. He's like a Brad Nessler, right? Or a McDonough. Just calls the game. He allows the analyst to be the analyst. He calls the game in the right way, and he knows all of what's going on the field. He's giving you what's happening in the game. He's not trying to add anything more than that. And he's working very well with his analysts. I mean, they have a sense of humor. I'm not saying they just sort of are robots.
No, they're phenomenal. They're phenomenal.
Now, the next one, the most distracting college basketball analyst, and this goes way back. It's not recently. Is Dick Vitale. When Dick Vitale's doing a game,
I love Dickie V.
I mean, you got it. Well, everybody loves Dickie V, right? And then what he's gone through and how he can still come out at age 86 and do games. But if you're trying to follow a game and trying to understand what's going on and trying to, he finds a way to tell a story, and he doesn't know when to stop talking, right? And I mean, some of the stuff, I go way back to, this is 35 years ago, when we were on a vacation, and my brother kept repeating what he was saying. Get a TO, baby. Get a TO, baby. To the point where my sister-in-law say, Pete, can you please just say that one more time? I can't take it anymore. Like he just can't stop talking. Right. That's the thing. And okay, so now moving along, most entertaining announcer, I got Gus Johnson. That guy, my brother made a comment to me that he could make going to the bathroom sound exciting. The guy he just kind of is into the game, and he's giving you the excitement of the game live as it's happening. And I know when he's announcing a game, I feel like there's something in that game that's going to happen that's dramatic. Either an underdog's going to pull off a great win, or something's going to happen that's just dramatic within the game. And I hate to be on a favorite when I'm watching him do a telecast, because I mean, he's done Ohio State games where Michigan State has beaten them 3-4 years in a row, right? There's something about him announcing a game. It's entertaining, it's exciting, and he doesn't drag it out. He gives you in the moment, and that's what I like about Gus Johnson.
So I kind of went a little bit off the beaten path there. For my most entertaining, I threw down the names Peyton and Eli Manning, and I'll tell you why. Because some of these Monday Night Football games are boring as heck. And whenever the game is not holding up its end of the bargain, I can throw on the Manning cast, and I know I'm being entertained. So I actually threw them down there because I know I can almost always put on that Manning cast and at least get some entertainment value out of it. So I know they're not really a single person or a single announcer, but to me, they're extremely entertaining.
Now, I got to tell you, Scooter, if I have to watch Peyton Manning in one more freaking commercial, talk about motivating or whatever he does, he's Peyton Manning and motivating Manning, and I'm going to have to turn the TV off. I'm sick of that guy. Absolutely sick of him. So I would never watch their telecast.
I'm telling you, it's fun. Eli's great.
Right. Eli, I could live with, but not
Eli's
Peyton.
Great. Peyton's great. No, again,
he's got a fake Super Bowl win playing with Denver after he did nothing to get him there. That guy, I've had enough of Peyton Manning.
Well, you're wrong, just so you know.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now we move on to who's the best NFL announcing team. Now, this is a little tough one, and people may not like this, but I think Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. I know Buck, Joe loves him some Joe, right? We know that.
He does.
And
but I think you're right. I don't know who's better.
They've just gotten better. Aikman the two of them have done this forever. Yeah, Buck gave up baseball to focus on the football, and I just think it's a good Monday night crew, and I do think they're the best team. And it doesn't mean I like them the best, but I'm just from a pure announcing standpoint, and how they can and Aikman can be a little bit cynical, but he brings you the game. So I put them as the best NFL announcing team. The most stale announcer is just Al Michaels. I mean, can we just? Yeah. Can we
Which
just
is a shame because he was so good for so long.
He's so good in the 70s, 80s, 90s, maybe even 2000s. But now if it's a boring game on Thursday night, he just sucks the life out of everyone watching the game because he's bored. All right, Al, if you're going to be bored, why don't you just stay home and he doesn't like vegetables. Eat your meat and potatoes and stay at home. And, you're not going to get
Herbstreit in him. I mean, Herbstreit's good. But
oh, my God.
There's no... Listen, for everything that Gus Johnson is, they are not.
Exactly. And I think the thing is Al Michaels, not every game's meat and potatoes, Al. You got to have some vegetables and make that a little bit exciting once in a while. When we've got Denver in the survivorship pool and it's 10-7, show me something when you're announcing the game. It's already stressful enough.
So anyway, dying on every play.
All right. So that's just stale. Is the best way to describe them. Yeah, most overrated team, Tirico and Collinsworth. 100%. Everybody loves Mike Tirico. You know what? I don't know why people think he is, and I know he's a great guy, and he's a talented announcer, but I don't really that team just I just feel like they've become overrated. Collinsworth will tell you that every play he watches is the best play he's ever seen.
Best play ever. Best
interception. Best interception. The Texan game the other night. Best interception I've ever seen in my life. Really? You've had guys intercept balls against you while you were on the field. That's the best you've seen.
That's the best.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I just so when I see that, it just kind of aggravates me.
I agree. No, that they are totally overrated. And Tirico's it's. I think Collinsworth tries to bring too much hype, and Tirico, I think, just is he tries to play so even keel.
He's vanilla. He's
to life. Yeah. Yeah,
he's vanilla, but he's not like Shulman and Sean McDonough. Okay, the most annoying team. I think we know where this is going.
Yep,
you know where
it's
going.
Easy. It's easy. And for every reason why you like Joe Buck and Troy Aikman is the reason why you're not going to like these two and why they are overrated, because I think what Joe Buck and Troy Aikman have done is they continue to put in the work and the effort. Whereas I think these two that you're going to mention, I think kind of don't put in the work and the effort as much as they should.
They just think they could just ride their wave home. And that is Jim Nantz and Tony Romo.
Yep.
I mean, Tony Romo just rambles. I don't know what he's really saying. I think he waits till he sees the play developing and then makes it sound like that's what he thought was going to happen. Nantz is, sort of picks him off the mat when he's a little bit over the top, but Jim loves him some Jim, and he thinks he's like he would float into these NCAA Final Fours, not having called an NCAA game all season, and now he gets to do the Final Four. Give me a break. You're not that good, Jim. And so I just get a little bit irritated with that team and they get the best games. And then when they don't perform well, they blame it because one time I think they said they got a game switched on them at the last minute and they didn't have time to prepare. I'm like, all right, so now you're setting yourself up in case you stumble, that it's not your fault, right, Jim?
Right, it's the network's fault.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. They are by far the most annoying football announcing team, I think.
Yes. The most undervalued announcing team. Look, these guys, Joe Davis and Greg Olson, do an unbelievable job announcing a game. Olson he got replaced by Brady. My brother sent me a text. These two announcers are the best. I didn't know they were doing that game because it was an AFC game. But what I found out was sometimes, even though AFC games are done on CBS, they'll flip them to Fox and back and forth. And so they were doing the game, and I found out it was them, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I agree. They're the best team. Olson, while he's only making 10% of what Brady makes, he runs circles around him analyzing a game. And Brady's 100%. Getting better. He's getting better. But Olson is just a natural at analyzing it, and he and Davis are a great team. And they are the number 2 team, but they should be the number 1 team.
Yeah. I also like Dale Johnson a lot as an analyst. I think he's undervalued as well. He's at Kevin Kugler. I would love to see him do more higher profile games. I love watching him play. I love watching him, listen to him on the telecast.
Yeah. Okay. So now the most fatigued announcing team. I mean, I've had enough of Chris Fowler and Curb Herbstreit.
Yeah.
Those guys they wear you out. Chris is another. Love you some Chris, right? We've got a few announcers here to think it's about them. And the guy is just in Herbstreit, just sort of like parrots along the way he needs to, just like he does with Al Michaels. He's not an NFL guy, so it's annoying that he's doing NFL games. He's in the studio. He's at that game day. I mean, I don't think he's as good. He's getting like $18 million. I just don't get it. And those two guys get the best game on a Saturday night. And there's better announcers that are a lot more, interesting to listen to than Chris Fowler. And they wear you out, basically.
I like Herbie. I like Herbstreit. In all reality, I like him way more on the college side, as I lose my voice, than on the what do you call it, on the prime Thursday night.
Well, the prime with Al Michaels, yeah. But that's sort of an ad. That's an add-on. He shouldn't have that gig. He just should not.
I agree. But I do like Herbstreit. I like College Game Day. So
Yeah, I don't have a problem
That's probably
with
because of Pat
college game day.
McAfee more than
Remember
Herbstreit,
what we're
but-
saying here. These guys, they just
Yes.
fatigue. I view them
They
as
are.
they fatigue me a little bit, right? They
Yeah. No,
they
you're,
don't
you're
really-
not wrong.
They don't energize you when you're watching a game.
No, you're right.
Right.
And Fowler, I'm sick of Fowler.
Now, the next one, the most overly detailed announcer is Kevin Harlan. And I got to tell you, when you're listening to him describe a play, so he's excited like Gus Johnson, but Gus tells you exactly what's happening immediately. With Harlan, I've got to find out all the things that happened during a run to get 2 yards, a 2-yard gain. And the other day, we get eliminated in survivorship. Al Big and I on Tampa Bay. He's got that game. As soon as I heard him on the TV, I'm like, this is trouble. He's going to be all happy when the Saints do all these good things, which they did plenty of. And this guy is not the guy you want to listen to when you're not rooting for the team that he's excited about. He's just not. And he also creates a ton of drama around a 3 to 5 yard game. I'm
Yes.
like, really? We really had to go
They'll
through
tell
that.
you-
He's an
I'll tell you
NBA guy.
every guard that pulled and where they started, where they ended up, and at the end of it, you gained 1 yard.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, don't listen to Kevin because you're going to find yourself really irritated when you're rooting for a team and he's got the game. Overvalued analyst. We already talked about it. It's Tom Brady. I should say overpaid rather than overvalued because he's getting better. But to bring him in and replace Olsen without any kind of cred, and he'll work hard at it and get better, but they're paying him so much money for his name. It's crazy. Yeah. The most underappreciated announcer was a guy you mentioned earlier. I think it's Kenny Albert. I think Kenny Albert he kind of fits what you were saying earlier. He's very versatile. And I don't think people really, they know Marv Albert. Kenny Albert is extremely effective in multiple sports. And then we know the father-son of Ian Eagle and Noah Eagle, both Syracuse graduates who Noah might be even better than his dad is what I've heard. I haven't really listened to that many of his games.
I haven't listened to Noah much, and I actually put Ian Eagle also as underappreciated. I remember when Ian Eagle was an assistant with the Fan back in the day.
Oh yeah, yes, he's emerged. He's emerged. He's paid his dues to get to where he's gotten, and he's very, very strong as an announcer. And he does college basketball. He does NFL, right? I'm not sure whether he does college football, but he does multiple sports.
Yeah, no, I've always liked Ian Eagle.
He does the NBA. I'm pretty sure he does NBA too. So
he absolutely does the NBA.
Yeah.
I know he does basketball. So
yeah.
What we did not do in this list is we didn't go local. This is more national, kind of just a nice little fun little segment. We were talking about announcers, and Tom and I went off on a tangent, and we're like, you know what? We got to throw this on the podcast. So I'm like, let's make a list and let's do it. So hope you enjoyed that. We're going to go back to our picks. So let's go to our college picks for week 16. So we decided we have the Army-Navy game this week, and there's a few bowl games that will play before our next podcast. So we figured we'd do 2 picks. Apparently Tom was trying to get away with just 1 pick, but I made him do 2. And then he turns around and has one of the same picks I have. So I'll jump us off with, I'm going to take Navy over Army -6. Again, Navy comes in one of the top rushing attacks in the country. They're going to average nearly 300 yards a game rushing. They have a balanced passing attack as well. Listen, Army's got the triple option. They're going to grind the game down to as much as they can. But I just don't see it happening for them in this game. I have Navy in a 27-17, 24-14 type game. I had them anywhere between 7 and 10 games, 7 or 10 points winning this game. The midshipmen will hold the defensive edge, so they'll limit Army's big play advantage. And that's how I see the midshipmen taking down the Black Knights. My second game, I have Jacksonville State heading to the Veterans Bowl. They keep it in the Army, universe here with the Veterans Bowl. And I have Jacksonville State. They're going to come in with a massive edge on the ground. Listen, the Gamecocks are pounding teams for over 250 rushing yards a game. They have a two-headed attack. Troy's allowing nearly 380 yards per game. They've struggled to contain physical run teams. Obviously, Jacksonville State is a physical run team. And I have Jackson State around 30 points and Troy in the low 20s. I have a couple other things here. Troy averages 314 yards per game. Jacksonville State 419. So they have a huge advantage in yards for. Yards allowed, though, they're about the same. Troy's 380 and Jacksonville State is 391. I don't see Troy getting anywhere near 380 yards in this game. So I took Jacksonville State. I will lay the 2.5 to beat Troy. And I kind of threw a little teaser in, a little underdog teaser, just something to kind of wet my whistle. I know Tom has a double dog money line barking parlay, so I figured I'd just throw a little underdog teaser here. And I teased up Army from +6 to +12. I teased up Boise State to 15.5, and I teased up Jacksonville to 9. And now, truth be told, when I put in my teaser bet, Jacksonville was getting 3 points and it went to 9. They're only getting 2.5 now, so that would be 8.5 if anyone places that bet. But that's what I got. I got Navy -6, Jacksonville State +2.5, and nice little underdog teaser. And we'll try to get above 500 in our percentage.
All right. Well, so for my picks, I guess so for Delaware, Louisiana, the 57.5 felt light to me on the total. So first of all, Delaware has a very, very poor scoring defense. They've given up a lot of points. If we went back and we looked at, certain games that they've played, and we bet for and against them, we've been burned on this team a couple of times. Yeah. But the last game of the season, they put up 61 points. They also allow a lot of points. I think we had them laying points when we took UConn one week, and Delaware just kept scoring and found a way to win that game. And it was a very high scoring game. So they put points up, and they have a horrible scoring defense. And where I kind of landed on this is neither team is particularly good, but they've all had enough success. They both had enough success to get to a bowl game. And I've got, the projected number to be nearly 70 points here. So when I see a number with a 5 in front of it, as you know, Scooter, I don't like the 6s, even though I bet them and got burned. But at 57.5,
did you win any of those 6s?
I don't know.
I don't think you won a single one of them.
I may not have. I might have won the very first one with it.
Maybe the first one. Yeah,
it was
I think
59
you did.
Though. I think it was 59 though, maybe. Anyway, and then I'm with you on Jacksonville State. I think the one thing that I don't have a lot to add to that other than I believe Troy's quarterback Crowder has gotten injured and then came back and got re-injured. And so in the Sun Belt Championship game, I think that they may be without their quarterbacks, the bottom line. And as you pointed out, Jacksonville State has an ability to really, they've just been an effective team this year in general. Troy has been a little more volatile. They've had a little tougher schedule, but I'm willing to take this game. Now it opened at 3, so we're kind of on the wrong side of this at 2.5. But I decided that was my added game when you said I got to get to 2 games. And then in the double barking dog parlay here, I'm going with Delaware again, a high scoring game. Maybe they eke it out. They've won games this year in high scoring affairs. I think we're going to have a back and forth game. So they're the dog. So combine that with ODU, who's been very successful. And I think there's a question around UCF's quarterback as well and whether he'll play or play the full game. And so when I kind of look at the 2 dogs here in these early games, these early bowl games, we're not getting into next week. I coupled these guys and got almost 5-1 to just win the games outright. And again, ODU's had an outstanding season, and we've talked a little bit about Delaware. So that was where I landed in my. I was able to pretty comfortable with a barking dog parlay. Finding that second game took a little digging.
Yeah, I'm actually going to throw some money on that. on that parlay. I kind of like that one. I like Old Dominion over USF, and I'll take a shot on Delaware.
Yeah.
So those are the college picks. Hopefully they pay off, and we'll move to the NFL now. You want to start us off?
Sure. So, the Bengals have been good to me, right? I mean, I laid off them last week, but they covered. They certainly covered.
They did cover. Yes, they did.
Won against the Ravens. I think they're going to do it again. I think this is going to be a wild game. I almost considered the total, but it's a little too high. The Ravens are desperate. The Bengals are desperate. At 4-9, the Bengals can still win this division, believe it or not. It's crazy.
I have a future on them to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to whether the Steelers take care of business against the Dolphins. And where I landed on that game was a cold weather game in Pittsburgh in December where, Mike McDaniel is going to look like he's freezing on the sideline. I mean, that guy, he's thin as a rail. He dresses in a parka. He looks like he's uncomfortably cold, just like his team. But rather than take the Steelers, because it's a 3.5 points and Miami's been playing well, I think we're going to have a lower scoring evening Monday night game in cold weather. And so I landed on the under. And going back to the Bengal game, I was kind of on the opposite side. I think we're going to have two teams, again, probably not playing in great weather, but are not going to be uncomfortable in it. And I think they're going to have a wild shootout. And I just like the way Cincinnati's playing right now. I mean, they easily could have won against Buffalo. And the fact that if Pittsburgh doesn't win, getting back to Miami and go 7-7, and the Bengals go to 5-9 and have another shot, with some easy teams down the stretch, 8-9, you could see a scenario where 8-9 could win that division.
Yep.
So I don't think it's likely, but I do like them. I think they absolutely will bring their A game on a division and try to knock the snot out of the Ravens season. And then the Cowboys is more of a play against Minnesota, who has about every third game, they have a dominating game, and then they can't play the next week. Well, they just won 31-0 at home. JJ McCarthy, I think, is going to keep developing, but he's not consistent. And Dallas is still alive at 6-1. Philly just keeps tanking games away, one after another. And Dallas is absolutely going to have to win this one to stay in it. And I think they're going to bring it this week.
I think they do too.
So,
then you have your double dog there, money line parlay.
Yeah, right. So now we go. Yeah. So this was a tougher one to get the second one. I love the Lions in a desperate game. They're a 6-point underdog. I think they can play with the Rams. The Rams are great, right? We all know that. But they added a lot of juice. I think they're definitely a live dog. And Denver's home at 11-2, and neither one of these teams has won convincingly in their games this year. And the Packers are actually the favorite in Denver. And part of me believes the Packers could win this game, but neither one of these teams, both of these teams play to who they're playing against. If they're playing a weaker team, they play to that team's, right? So this is just going to be a tight game. So I'm not really comfortable betting one side or the other on the spread, but I'm happy to take a money line, add them into a money line parlay as an underdog. And so that's what I got 5-1 on this. So I threw that into the account.
Nice. Up top, my picks, I'm taking the Giants, laying the 2.5. Jane Daniels has already been ruled out for the weekend, so he's not going to be playing. Listen, I don't know what the Giants are. I know they play hard and they fight, and most of their games end up being close. If they get blown out, it's usually by turnovers, which obviously can happen at any point with this team. They're still young as heck. Interim coach, I don't know, but I don't trust the Commanders at all. So I'll lay the 2.5 and I'll take the Giants. My Browns over the Bears. I like the 7.5. I like the hook. So I listen, Shador's playing okay. Kevin Stefanski is a good coach. I don't know why he took him off the field last week for the 2-point conversion. That's one of the oddest things I think I've seen in recent memory. Yeah. But they're clearly playing better.
They had a trick play up their sleeve for a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, let's have the halfback throw it across the field. That looks like that's a winning play. But yeah, I don't know what that was last week. And here I am saying Stefanski's a good coach, but now granted, he didn't call the play. That was the OC, but a horrible play.
Tommy Reese.
Yeah, Tommy Reese. I'm sorry. And then I took the Browns 7.5. Again, I like the hook. I can see the Bears winning by 7. But I'll take the hook, and I'll take the 7.5, and I'll take the Browns. And then this week just had so many large spreads on so many games. So I was looking at the large spreads. I looked at the Seahawks. I looked at the Niners. And listen, I like the Seahawks. And I do think the Seahawks will win and cover that point spread. But push came to shove. That went to 14, and this was 12.5. When I first saw the Seahawks, it was 13.5. At 13.5, I probably take the Seahawks. But I got the Niners at 12.5. Again, the Titans are horrible. I can easily see the Niners winning by 2 touchdowns here, if not more. So I'm taking the Niners. I'm laying the 12.5. Keeping with my favorites, as I'm a favorite guy. I like the favorites. And then for my teaser, I lost my teaser last week. I won the week before, so I'm going back again. I'm mixing it up a little bit. So I'm calling this my over-under teaser. I took the Jets and Jags. I teased that value up to be under 47.5. The Bills and Pats, I teased that over down to go to 43.5. And then Colts Seahawks, I teased that one down to take the over at 36.5. And I think that is, I would bet the house if I was you on that over under teaser. Please don't do that. This is for entertainment only. But that's my over under teaser. So those are my
Indiana Jones. Is Indiana Jones going to come through and get you a couple of points this week? Or no, he's not. He's not playing.
No, it's going to be a grandfather. 44-year-old grandfather is going to be taking over, which is why I took the Seahawks at over 36.5. Because God forbid if Philip Rivers does play, no way he throws less than 2 picks. There's just no way.
It's amazing. It's amazing what they're turning to try to save their season. With Richardson out.
Did you see any of his press conference?
Riley Leonard out. No, I did not.
They asked him how much he weighed. He goes, a little bit more than the last time I walked off the field.
Oh, my God. He really did come off the couch, as Tim Shepard, one of our listeners, said.
And then he followed up that with, well, I got to be honest with you, when I last was on the field, I didn't run away from anyone either. So
right.
It was
that's
a good
true.
press conference.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good press conference.
The Colts do have an offensive line, so maybe he'll be okay. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I think we need a lot of Jonathan Taylor Thomas. So that's what I think we need. Let's see where we stand after last week. I went 1-1 last week, but I went 3-0 on my pro side. So I'm sitting at 500 at 42 and 42. Tom went 1-1 on his college side, and he went 2-1 on his pro side. So he's sitting at 39 and 43.
And I
grinding your way back.
Yeah, grinding the way back, and I think I hit the double dog parlay in college too. So I know you're not showing that because it's not really a record, but we hitting one of those every once in a while can help take the sting out.
You've probably hit. I'm trying to think. You definitely hit probably at least 4.
Yeah, I think that's right. And those have been pretty good. Now my NFL one last week was a long shot, but the college one was, has happened. That's hit several times.
Yeah.
And that's a way to kind of combat a bad week. But as we talked about. Yeah.
We do have a golf tournament this weekend. We have the Grant Thornton Invitational, which is a tournament that only has 16 teams. It's a team tournament with the PGA players and LPGA players. It's 3 days instead of 4. So this doesn't kick off until tomorrow or Friday. So you can take our bets and you can place them. Round 1 is a straight scramble format, standard scramble, both tee off, play your best shot, and move it on out until you hole it out. Round 2 on Saturday is a straight alternate shot. So you pick one member to tee off on the odds, one member to tee off or partnership to tee off on the evens, and you just alternate shot to it's in the hole. Round 3 is a modified 4-ball. This I thought was kind of interesting. So both players tee off, and then you switch balls. So I would play Tom's ball and hold that out, and Tom would play my ball and hold it out. So just a little interesting thing.
Yeah.
Interesting format. Last year, it was won by Jake Knapp and Patty. I'm not going to even attempt that last name at -27. But you have some Lydia Ko and Jason Day won it a few years back. Then and there's list. You got who you got? You got Nelly Quarters with Denny McCarthy. You got
they're the favorites.
Lexi
I think
Thompson.
they're the favorites, Scooter. I think.
Yeah, I think they're the
McCarthy
betting favorites. Yeah, McCarthy and Corda. Then you got Lexi Thompson and Wyndham Clark. This was kind of surprising. Lily Vu and Tony Finau were the overwhelming least favorite to win at what did we see that?
45
to 1. You got Rose Zhang and Michael Kim. You got Neil Shipley and Maha Stark. Who else we got here? We got Charlie Hull and Michael Brennan. Now, Charlie Hull had a different partner. They had to back out because of injury. And so now she's playing with Michael Brennan. And obviously you have Brooke Henderson and Corey Connors. See anyone else that's interesting? You got Jennifer Kupcho and Chris Goddard.
Yeah, local.
Goddard's not playing well though right now. I will say that.
Yeah.
He had a horrible showing at the Hero World Challenge. And then you got Andrea Lee and Billy Horschel. So let's take a quick gander at a couple of our picks here. We just did one or two. I threw Lydia Ko and Jason Day to win, and these are only to win. I do think they have some top 5 options, but those odds are they're
not good. No,
they're not good. So I took Lydia Ko and Jason Day at +700. Like I said, they have won in the past. I kind of looked at the couple of the LPGA pros. I like Rose Zhang and I like Lydia Ko, so that's kind of why I kind of went there. And I listen, for anyone that's on, obviously you guys are on YouTube watching this, Jason Day and his lads YouTube channels, definitely a must watch if you like watching YouTube golf. And what you got time? You got Brooke Henderson and Corey Connors. At 8 to 1 again. They've been up
so
there, right?
my logic there was they finished second and fourth in 2 of the years of this tournament. So they played together. Those odds were like 5 and 6 to 1 on MGM and Caesars and FanDuel. So getting them at 8 to 1 on DraftKings, I grabbed that and threw a little bit on that. That was the team I decided and Corey Connors, a great ball striker. He also came on strong last week at the Hero Challenge at the end. Had a very good third day and wound up, or fourth day rather, and wound up kind of placing in a pretty good spot. So his form is good. He's playing with a great partner. I think they've got good chemistry. And I got 8 to 1 in a 16-man field on them. So I threw some money.
And I'll just mention this is at the Tiburon Golf Club in Naples, Florida. It's a 7,300-yard course, par 72, and it's in Florida. They could play in Florida. I wish I could play in Florida since it's 12 degrees outside right now.
Yeah, it's not warm here in New Jersey. No.
All right, let's see what we got next going on here. I may have to switch a slide out, which I think I do. So obviously college football is wrapping up, but however, the NBA is picking up. So we are going to start throwing in a couple of NBA picks. So this is
college.
Yeah, just
right.
We're going to move into a couple other sports. I actually even also might throw in an NHL bet here and there on the podcast. But we kind of, ironically, we didn't even discuss this, but we went with the same. So obviously, Tom, you know more about, the season going on. I have not been as focused on it with all the other stuff I've had going on. But I know we have what are they calling it? What cup?
The NBA. So I'll start here. The NBA Cup, and this has been going on where they start off by playing in sort of pools, of 4 teams, and they come out and they play round robin, and then they have tiebreakers, and they get it into a 8-team tournament. So you basically have pool play. Then you get to your eight qualifiers, and I think it's like something like there's 6 winners with 2 wild cards or something like that, right? So you're basically, everyone in the league is participating in this, and then you have the sort of the winners of each of those flights along with the wild cards leading to this 8-team tournament, and they just played to get down to the Final Four, to make it into the Final Four in Las Vegas. So these 8 teams played just the last 2 nights, and we're now down to these 4 teams, right? So the Spurs had beaten the Lakers, who were 2 of the 8. The Thunder took care of the Suns. The Knicks beat the Raptors, and the Magic beat the Miami Heat. So there was those 8 teams, and now we've got the 4 winners playing in Vegas Saturday night. I think the finals are on Tuesday night. So what I had followed, I'm a Knicks fan. I followed the Knicks pretty closely. They're playing very well. The Magic had one of their top players, Franz Wagner, is hurt. I don't think he's going to be playing on Saturday. And I feel like the Knicks are playing well enough right now to go and take care of the Magic in a neutral site. And so it's 4.5 on almost all the sites. I was able to get it at 4. I think it might've been on FanDuel, but I searched 3 or 4 sites and found the Knicks at -4. The other game here was I was waffling back and forth on totals, and I wanted to play the Spurs, but the Thunder, I feel snake bit by the Thunder right now. They just continue to play and win games. I think they're going to hit some sort of roadblock eventually. They haven't hit it. So instead, I looked at the total in this game, and the Thunder and Spurs are both fairly fast-paced teams and top of the league in offense. The thing is, the Thunder are also top of the league on defense, and they won 138-89 the other night over the Suns.
And that spread was 14.5, and a lot of people liked the Suns.
The Suns. Yeah, I didn't like the Suns because I think the Suns have overachieved. But the Spurs are also overachieving, and they're playing without their best player in Wemby. But what has happened is a lot of points are getting scored in these games. And I right now feel like the Spurs and Thunder at 225, that felt a little light. I kind of thought that number would be 228.5, 229.5. So it may go there depending on how people bet it, because these lines have not been posted for that long. So I grabbed it a little bit early, hoping that I got it at a good number. We'll see. And so I've got over 225.5. So these are Saturday games. They play, I think, at 5:30 and 8, or maybe it's 5:30 and 8:30, something like that on Saturday night.
So ironically, I kind of flipped it on you. I took the game and then I took the under. But so for the game, listen, obviously on this podcast, I like the Thunder. I think what they're doing this year is pretty special. I think they're on a mission. They want to boat race teams. What they did the other night to Spurs, and they're pulling their starters
to the Suns.
The Stars. To the Suns. I got NHL in my head.
Yeah, you're already thinking they're going to do the same thing to the Spurs.
The Spurs. Now, the rumor is Wembley's coming back for this game.
Oh, I think he was. Yeah, I saw that he was possible. That's right.
He's possible for this game. So I mean, this might not hold up, but again, what SGA and what the Thunder are doing right now is they're a special team. They're doing some special things. They've lost 1 game this year. I don't see them losing this game, and I think they're going to make a statement because I think they do see the Spurs as a threat down the line, and I think they are going to go out of their way and dominate this game and win easily and cover the 10.5.
The other thing I've noticed too, Scooter, is let's say Wemby comes back, he's going to be rusty. How do you integrate him back?
100%.
Sometimes that first game back, you're almost worse off as a team. It's hard to say not having him is better than having him, but I think there are situations where that's true. The first game or two.
Right. And I'm sure his minutes are going to be limited anyhow. I mean, there's no way he's in game shape anyway. And then I took the Knicks and Magic, and I went under 223.5.
I like that play, actually. I thought about that play.
Again, pretty much for the reason you said. Magic's got the one stars down, and Knicks defensive-minded team. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and I actually think this is going to go under by. I think this is going to be an easy under.
It is a little bit of a big number for these two teams. The Magic historically have been a good defensive team. The Knicks are trying to up the pace, but they haven't gotten there yet. The only thing that I noticed was that the Magic this year, for whatever reason, are playing at a faster pace, which means more shots. And normally they're a little bit a good defensive team who maybe doesn't play quite as fast as they have. I think the Knicks would like to play faster, but the Magic, I do think at year 223, and I strongly considered this one and went with the over in the West game instead.
I don't think the Knicks have the depth to be able to keep a high-paced game going.
No, although they're deeper this year, they do have a couple injuries. I think that one thing that Mike Brown's doing is he's playing more guys. In the Thibodeau year, in the Thibodeau time, he wouldn't play guys. But they do have a couple of their reserve guys are hurt. But I do think eventually he's going to want to up the pace with this team because he has a bench because he's willing to play it. Let's just put it that way. He's willing to play guys on the bench.
Yeah, and Tibbs never did. He had 7 guys, and that was it.
That's right.
Sometimes 6. So a couple of new NBA bets. I'll try to get a slide together to kind of keep track of how we're doing with the NBA. I can't lie. I don't bet much NBA or basketball. I'm typically football, but I didn't bet much in college football either, and that worked out pretty well for us this year.
That worked out great for you. So
we'll see. We'll see how we can do on the NBA.
You don't need to be seasoned or even that knowledgeable. You just got to find a way to pick the right games.
You guys got to pick the right games. That, friends, is episode 24. We have one more episode this year. Will be next week. After that, we're going to be on hiatus for a few weeks, and we'll be coming back in January. I'm calling it season 2. Everyone laughs at me when I say we'll be starting season 2, but I'm calling it season 2. So next week we will be recording on Wednesday and dropping it on Thursday. Other than that, everyone have a wonderful week. Tom, have a wonderful week. Hopefully the knee is still healing, or the quad tendon is still healing.
It is. And I just want to have a shout out to Carl Horico. We didn't talk about this early in the podcast, but he did comment that he was going to be generous. And if I get back with this knee onto the golf course and I have to go down into a deep bunker, he will allow me to foot wedge it out with only taking 1 stroke, which I thought was very generous of Carl. So thank you, Carl.
No free lift?
No, not a free lift.
Penalizer?
But I thought it would be like you'd lose the hole or something. He's giving me a chance to stay in the hole as long as I'm willing to. I can lift it out and take a stroke. So Horico's generosity never ceases to amaze me. No.
That is awesome. Carl, thank you for looking out for my boy here. Appreciate it.
Good luck in the simulator, taking their money, Scooter. I know you're playing.
I plan on it. Yeah, we hit simulator golf is off and running. We have our first match this Saturday, so we'll see how we do. Otherwise, have a wonderful week, and we will see you all next week. Have a good one.